In our first video, I shared some valuable tips on how to organize your finances, and how this can lead to a much lighter, balanced, and comfortable life. The goal, of course, is to help you achieve real goals with more freedom and less anxiety. After that video, many people asked me to elaborate on a concept I only briefly mentioned, the famous pay yourself first. So today that's the focus. We're going to dive deeper into what pay yourself first really means, why it can be the key to escaping that feeling of always chasing after money, and how to put it into practice in your routine, even if you live paycheck to paycheck. By the way, have you ever felt trapped in this cycle of working, getting paid, paying bills, and waiting for the next paycheck? As if you're going around in circles. So, you're not alone. This cycle actually has a name. It's what author Robert Kiyosaki referred to as the rat race in the bestseller Rich Dad Poor Dad. And do you know one of the most effective strategies to break out of that cycle? That's right, pay yourself first. This approach, presented by Kiyosaki as one of the foundations for building wealth, is more than just a tip. It's a habit that completely changes how you relate to money. And the best part, it fits perfectly into a laid-back lifestyle, where we value balance, freedom, and quality in everything, including our finances. But before we continue, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. My name is Juliana, and here we talk about personal finance and personal development in a light-hearted way, without complication or unnecessary technical jargon. The idea is to help you achieve financial stability and create a life you love living, without sacrificing your peace. Now, getting back to the topic. What does it mean to pay yourself first in practical terms? It's quite simple. Every time you receive money, whether it's from your regular job, a side project, a bonus, a commission, or even a tax refund, the first thing you do is set aside a portion for yourself. Yes, for yourself. For your savings, for your future, for your investments. Before paying any bills, before shopping, even before that delicious brunch with friends, you put yourself first. This is the essence of the strategy. And why does this matter? Because this simple change in order transforms everything. You stop treating savings or investments as whatever is left over, and start prioritizing your future. This helps you avoid that habit of spending everything and then trying to save whatever you can. Spoiler: it almost never works. When you pay yourself first, you begin to build a safety net, strengthen your financial independence, and gradually move away from a scarcity mindset. You start acting like someone who is building, not just surviving. And you know what's even better? Even while paying yourself first, you can still do the things you love. You learn to be creative with the money that's left. You can continue taking care of your body, making those little purchases, and feeling loved. But maybe now you'll discover more economical ways or plan your spending better. Your travels can still happen, but with planning. You can save hundreds just by booking in advance or avoiding last-minute purchases. At the core, all of this relates to what we promote here: living with financial intelligence and quality of life. This is the foundation of a soft lifestyle, where you live well with less stress, more awareness, and more freedom of choice. And if you still have doubts about whether this really works, let me ask you, how many times have you tried to save what's left over, only to realize at the end of the month that you couldn't save anything? Or worse, that you spent more than you should have? Let's think together. Imagine you earn $2,500 every 2 weeks. As soon as your paycheck comes in, you pay the rent, the car payment, the credit card bills, the subscriptions, the groceries. And when you look again, what's left? Maybe $200 at most. Then you think, I'll save this amount. But a new expense pops up, or you feel the need to buy something, and just like that, the money disappears. Real savings never happen because everything is in the same account, coming from the same place. It's a cycle. And it repeats itself month after month. And the feeling is always the same. I work so hard and I don't see my money grow. Do you relate? Don't worry. This space is safe. No judgments. We're all here to grow together. The first step is simple. Observe. Pay attention to how you organize your money as soon as it comes in. Do you set some aside right away? Or do you leave everything together, hoping that something will be left over at the end? When you change this mindset and start to pay yourself first, you break free from the rat race. You stop chasing after money and begin to guide your financial life with intention. Now let me ask you honestly. What if you flipped the script on how you think about your money? Instead of always leaving what's left at the end of the month, if there is anything left, to try to save, and end up never managing to do so? How about putting yourself at the top of your priority list and finally paying yourself first? Yes, that's right. Before paying the rent, the grocery bills, or any other expenses. You choose yourself. Take a portion of what comes into your account and set it aside with care for yourself. For your freedom, for your future, for your peace. This is one of the most powerful lessons from the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. He says that paying yourself first is what distinguishes those who live on autopilot in the rat race, that exhausting cycle of working, earning, and paying bills, from those who create a light, prosperous, and strategic relationship with money. And look at how this connects with a soft lifestyle. When you pay yourself first, you take the first step toward your autonomy. You start to live with more calmness, more awareness, and less frantic chasing after losses. It's about living with purpose, not just surviving. Let's go to a practical example. Imagine you receive $2,500. Instead of rushing to pay bills, you set aside 10 to 20% of that amount. That is something between $250 and $500, and put it into a separate account. An investment account, a high-yield savings account, or any space where that money can grow. This, my friend, is what I call financial self-care. If you're just starting out and want to keep everything simple, it's perfectly fine to start with a savings account at the same bank. Even if it's not the most advantageous in terms of interest, the most important thing right now is to create the habit. Starting is what changes everything. Over time, you can move that money to better options. A high-yield savings account or a diversified investment fund. Just think about the feeling of watching your money grow, without needing to exert extra effort. That's the true luxury of organization. The peace of mind that comes from knowing you're in control. And after you've paid yourself first, that's when you take care of fixed expenses, like rent, groceries, transportation, and so on. What's left? That's the fun to have. It's that little treat for the weekend, that special dessert, or that purchase you make without guilt, because you know that before indulging in any momentary pleasure, you prioritized what really matters. This is one of the keys to breaking the cycle of financial anxiety. And more than that, it's the path to living a soft life with intelligence, without giving up pleasure and freedom. And here's something cool. This applies to everything. Even if you earn little, even if you're just starting out, even if you're in debt. Because paying yourself first is more than just a technique. It's a way to value yourself, to show the universe and yourself that you deserve to prosper. Now that you understand the importance of paying yourself first, it's time to think more strategically. How can this habit align with your life goals? Let's organize this into 3 phases: short-term, medium-term, and long-term. This will help you clearly visualize the path to your stability and financial freedom. First, short-term goals. Your peace fund, as we already discussed, the first objective should be your emergency fund, which I like to affectionately call the peace fund. And there's a good reason for that. It brings exactly that, peace. You know that saved money that gives you the freedom to leave a toxic job, end a relationship that no longer makes sense, or simply breathe a sigh of relief in the face of an unexpected situation. That's peace. That's luxury. That's freedom. The idea is to have an amount equivalent to 3 to 6 months' worth of your monthly expenses saved. if you're a freelancer, independent contractor, or entrepreneur, meaning your income varies quite a bit, it might be wise to consider saving up for 6 to 9 months. Now, if you have a steady salary and are in a more stable phase of life, 3 months could already be an excellent starting point. A practical tip: calculate your fixed monthly expenses, rent, food, transportation, basic bills. Multiply that total by 3, 6, or even 12. That's your cushion. That's your yes to freedom. And remember, building this fund is part of the soft lifestyle. It's about having emotional and financial freedom to step out of draining cycles, without the fear of having nowhere to turn. Second, medium-term goals. 3 to 5 year objectives. Now that your peace fund is created or in progress, it's time to look ahead. What dreams do you want to achieve in the next 3 to 5 years? Could be buying a car, that dream vacation, starting your own business, or even paying for college without resorting to student loans. At this stage, it's wise to divide your money between a high-yield savings account for quick and secure access, and moderately risky investments such as ETFs, index funds, or stocks from solid companies. This diversification protects you from fluctuations while allowing your money to grow instead of just sitting idle. The key is not to put all your money in one place, especially if you'll need it within 5 years. Never forget, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Remember, the soft lifestyle doesn't exclude your dreams. It simply teaches you to achieve them with planning, ease, and intelligence. Third, long-term goals. Freedom and retirement. Here we're talking about the future. For real. These are the goals that take 10 years or more to achieve, like retirement, financial independence, or even buying your dream house without debt. And for these long-term goals, there's no secret. Investing is essential. In this case, ideal options would include stocks, real estate investment trusts, REITs, cryptocurrencies with caution and research, diversified ETFs. You don't have to invest in everything, but you do need to choose wisely. Research, study, and find what works for you. And if you're just starting out, a good suggestion is index funds, as they come with a diversified portfolio and are easier to track, perfect for those looking for a more laid-back approach. Yes, investing is also part of the soft life, because living well includes securing a future where you can have time, choice, and peace, without depending on anyone, without desperation. Now here comes the secret ingredient: consistency. It doesn't help to make a payment once and then forget about it. The magic lies in consistency. Whether you're a salaried employee, freelancer, or entrepreneur, what will change your life is regularity. Have an automatic system in place. Set monthly goals and track your results. And if possible, have someone to accompany you, talk about finances, and grow together. Because talking about money is liberating. And here on the channel we do it with love, awareness, and clarity. A final practical and powerful tip. Did you receive an unexpected bonus, refund, or any extra amount? Instead of spending it all, how about 50% for yourself, investments, peace fund, reserve, 50% for whatever you want, bills, leisure, gifts. This way you won't feel deprived and you'll also accelerate your wealth journey. If you want to get off the hamster wheel, as Robert Kiyosaki so aptly defines, and start building a financially healthy, light, and balanced lifestyle, this is the way. Paying yourself first is more than just a technique. It's an act of self-love. It's you looking at yourself and saying, I deserve more. I deserve to live well. And if you believe that too, go ahead and give this video a like. Share it with a friend who also wants to break free from the cycle of financial anxiety. And subscribe to the Soft Life Rich Mindset channel to continue this journey with us. Live with quality. Invest wisely. Live with soul. Live soft.